Well, I was going to drive down there, but the roads are all flooded, so I'm going to have to head back up this way and just find a nice spot over there, I think, to paint. Well, I don't think there's much sunlight left, but there's plenty of time to get this scene. Quite like this little scene here. I might use the that big tree on the right to frame it, and then we've got a little bit of water there. Water levels are very high. There's been a lot of rain over Christmas. That's the way I was going down there, but the road's flooded, so I think I'm going to go for this sort of composition, maybe get a bit more of the tree along the top and sort of squeeze this view in, something like that. All my usual kit here, got the 3 brushes, the large ache, number 3 rigger, 3/4 inch flats, got a bit of piece of card in case I need it. Got all the usual colours, ultramarine, lemon yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber and light red, and the tea towel there. I'm using the usual 15 by 11 Fabriano. I've got this little like tabletop easel thing, just leans against the steering wheel and I can just see the view right in front of me. So this is just clean water I'm putting all over the paper. It's not the thickest paper in the world, but by giving it a good soaking, it'll stop it from crinkling. Also the background diffuses off nicely with no hard edges. This is raw sienna. Just put in. No real order to it, just to give a bit of background flavour. And I'm going to clean the brush. Take the excess off on the tea towel. And then go into ultramarine. Just put in a bit of blue sky here and there. And get the reflection down there in the water. And then as I'm watching the paint coming down, I'm just soaking it up, just where the little bits are running down. Taking it up with the brush. And I'm going to clean that. I'm just about to see some grey cloud. So I generally go alizarin crimson, Payne's grey. Tell you what, I forgot tissues. I like to use a bit of tissue to take the white clouds out in the sky, but I'll use the brush I think instead today, the other brush. Now, a bit of sort of grey cloud up there. I'm trying to keep it subtle, not too much. That'll do. And I'll clean the brush another clean. I'm just wondering whether to take some white clouds out, but I might actually just leave it like that, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think I'll leave it like that for now. So what I'll do, the paper's stretched a little bit, so I'm just going to pull it tight, just so it's flat again. And then I'll give it a quick dry. Now I bought this thing. Now I did buy a 12 volt hairdryer on eBay that you could plug in the cigarette lighter, but it just wasn't powerful enough. It was totally useless basically. So I saw someone using one of these, which is, you do it for like a cooking thing. So it's just a case of pull the safety thing down and you're good to go. Saves you hanging around waiting for paint to dry. It's the first time I've ever used it actually, so I'm just trying to make sure I don't set fire to the paper. I don't know how quick it takes. Yeah, that's dry already. Well, it's almost dry. It's pretty quick. I don't know how long the gas lasts, but I wouldn't need to do much drying for this one. So now I'm looking at the distant trees now. So let's same colours. Well, let's go sort of raw sienna. Not too much water. Raw sienna, ultramarine. Let's get some dark ones in first. Raw sienna, ultramarine, Payne's grey, bit of lemon yellow, just a bit of everything basically, all your greeny colours. Now I'm just going to push that up towards that cloud there. Now there's the horizon line, so I don't want to come any lower than that. And I'm just going to try and vary it now, just vary the colour as I work my way. It's a bit darker on the top and it gets a bit lighter down the bottom. Just push that up to that tree. Just using the corner of the brush. Even a bit of burnt umber as well. Just flicking through the greeny colours. And then give that a clean, and in front of those are some slightly lighter coloured trees. So to get back to light, I'm cleaning the brush, take the excess water off on the tea towel, and then let's get back to some nice lighter colours. Raw sienna, bit of lemon yellow, back to the raw sienna, and again I'm just going to keep varying it as I work my way along. Bit of ultramarine there. And I'm just going to darken it again, I think, as I get to the bottom. And just trying to get those contrasts all the time, bit of burnt umber. And I'm just going to see how the hairs are splitting, so I'm just dipping the tips in the water just to bring all the hairs back together. And then I can get that sort of horizon line level then. Bit of brown for the muddy bits. And with that, let's switch to the rigger now. Bit of water on it. And this, stick a few of those trees, the branches, those trunks I can see. So I'm just going burnt umber, ultramarine, and then just picking out a few of those background. One over there. There's sort of something like that, that's all it needs really. You can always flick a few in with your fingernail as well. Put something going on down there. Right, now the water. There's a lot of ways of doing water. I think today I'm going to, instead of just pulling down the reflections, I might just do a quick sweep across. Now I'm looking at it and I can see there's all sorts of reflections, but it's mainly sort of browny. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to take a bit of each, bit of everything. Just a bit of everything that I've used so far. And then make sure that's dry. And then just do a quick sweep like that. You see how it breaks and you get all these nice it's like the light sort of sparkling off the water. can always pick out a few little reflections if you want to. Put a few down. But I'm not going to do too, you know. In fact, I think it looks better the way it is, to be honest with you. That'll do. I don't want to go over it too much. I like that sort of light, sparkly look. So that's the water. That's simple as that. Nothing complicated about it. Now I think what I'll do next is put this big tree on the right hand side. So it's a dark colour, so I'm not going to bother. Or should I do it light? Actually, I think I'll do it light. I'll do it a light colour. In fact, I might use a dry brush. This brush is still pretty dry. And then just sort of very lightly. See how you can hardly see if you just do it light. And a few little branches going up there. And stick another one next to him. Something like that. Let's stick another trunk, another big little trunk in there just to fill that gap in. And there's a few more trees, same sort of colours. Brush is pretty dry now, so I know it's not going to come off the brush very strongly. It means I can sort of put in these. Yeah, you can get the paint to break, so you get loads of little gaps between. Just trying to keep this nice and subtle. I don't want it nice, dark, really dark, dominating everything. Just little subtle little branches and twigs. Now these aren't as high as that one, so I'm keeping them well off the top of the page. And these just continue right off onto the earth on the left hand side, framing it quite nicely. And then just a little bit of, just use the rigger. Again, I don't really want a lot. Trying to keep it as subtle as I possibly can. Just little twigs and branches breaking off. But again, just leaving the eye to do most of it, to be honest with you. And also keeping it fairly sort of light. You can see plenty of the background behind it. So easy to just block it in just in one big colour, so you just block out everything that you've already done in the background. But it's just a case of being disciplined. Don't rush, you know what I mean? Just take your time. Just do a couple of strokes and then stop, have a look at it, and then before you carry on, make sure you're happy with how it's turning out. So then let's put some, there's just something in the foreground down there. So I brought the water right the way down, but you can only actually see the water across there, just this little bit there. So what I'm going to do is that the land bits there, so let's just get that in. And you can see the sort of darkness contrasting against the light of the water there. Always look for places where you can make the most of the contrast. And the land, it's sort of something like this, something like so. Bit of burnt umber now. There's like a few just using the corner of the brush, see. I'm getting it on quite dark now, burnt umber, ultramarine. And then again, just using the corner of the brush and you can, let's just put in this little bush thing there on this right hand side. That comes right down to the bottom. And what I might do, I'll just clean the brush. I might just put a little path in here. There's not actually a path in front of me, but I always think it looks better with a little path. I'll go for that. The road. Well, I'll put the path in the same colour as the road I've got here. It's like a bluey grey type of colour. So just giving Payne's grey, ultramarine. Let's just pretend the paths will come in. Something like that. That's it. That's all it needs. Just adds a nice little element to the scene. I've cleaned the brush. Again, took the excess off on the tea towel. Now this is just road, this bit, but I'm going to make this grass, I think, because I think it just looks nicer. So lemon yellow. Bit of raw sienna. Ultramarine. Just trying to vary it as I'm coming down the page, basically. There's a bit on the other side as well. And what I might do, just to emphasise, actually, it's just looking a little bit bland, so let's just put a few little clumps, a few little dark bits here and there, bits of mud and grass and all sorts of things, more on that side. And then just to emphasise that path, it sort of got lost a little bit in the foreground there. So if I just sort of darken the edges, and let's just put a few little dibs and dabs there first. Just to emphasise the path, as I say, and then let's just stick a few little stones and stuff. Just running along the edge. Good. Just brings it to life a little bit. I think we're not far off finished, I think. So I'm just going to switch back to the rigger. Back to the rigger. Let's put a couple of little birds in. Being careful because I know this is a bit wet, so I'm just going to do. And then if I can find a dry corner, in fact, let's use this thing again, why not? Where should I put my signature? I'll put my name down there. So I'll just make sure that's dry. Really like I say, I'm very wary of setting fire to the actual paper. I don't know how close I can actually risk putting it. I'm going to just put my name down there. Just make sure that is dry. That's dry now. And I think I'll call that one finished. So let's have a closer look at it. So this is our finished painting, so let's see how it compares to the view. It's right, the windows have steamed up slightly while I've been painting and talking to you. But you can see how I've got the sort of right hand of the tree here. Tree on the right hand side is what I'm trying to say. And sort of use that to frame the right hand side. On the left we've got these very lightly put in ones, which you can just see over there. There's not much water, but you can see what you can see there. If you remember, I just did a quick sweep across with the hake, and then making sure that the hake's not too wet. If you do it quickly enough, you get all these nice breaks in the paint, so it looks like the sort of water's sparkling from the sun. You can see the foreground here. It's just the car park basically, but I've tried to make that a bit more interesting by putting our little path here in the foreground, and just sort of emphasised it a bit more by putting these little rocks along the edges, and then the tarmac I've changed to sort of grassy, muddy type of setup. You can see there's not too much colour in those trees on the other side of the water. I've tried to liven them up a bit by using various mixes of the greens, and also, if you look, you can see sort of combinations of fingernails and rigger work just to make these branches and twigs and stuff on that far side. In terms of contrast, you can see I've sort of deliberately made it really dark here to stand out against the light on the water. Also again here, using the dark bushes here to throw this in front of the lighter trees in the background. I hope you like that. Thanks for watching. Keep practicing. Any questions please ask, and I'll see you again soon.